Hello friends, today we are going to deal with the pathology for BSc Nursing second year students. Chapter is gastrointestinal tract and the disease is tumors of stomach. So let's see what is tumors of stomach. The tumors of stomach may be classified as follows. First is the tumor-like lesions like gastric polyps, then benign tumor, then malignant tumor, which is subdivided into three parts: adenocarcinoma, leiomyosarcoma, and leiomyoblastoma. So, tumor-like lesions, that is gastric polyps. Let's see what is it. Gastric polyps. Polyps is an abnormal growth or mass. Gastric polyps, any nodule or mass that projects above the level of the surrounding mucosa is known as polyp. Means that any abnormal growth or mass is called as polyp. So they are uncommon lesions, means they are uncommon lesions, not incommonly they are seen, and found in 0.4% of adult population. Usually asymptomatic, means its symptoms cannot be seen, but sometimes produce dyspepsia, means feeling of thirst, and anemia due to blood loss. So we have seen that any nodule or mass, if it overgrows, then it is called as polyp, and it is uncommon lesion and found in 0.4% of adult population, and they have the symptoms which are not visible, but sometimes they may show dyspepsia and anemia due to blood loss. More than 90% of the polyps are non-neoplastic, means they are not showing the neoplastic. Polyps are of two types: inflammatory polyps and hyperplastic polyps. Inflammatory polyps, they are true polyps, and they are mainly consisting of granulation tissue. At times it can be inflammatory fibroid polyps. So they are not true polyps, and they are mainly having granulation tissue which will cause the swelling. So it can be called as inflammatory fibroid polyps. Then second is hyperplastic polyps. They are known as regenerating polyps. Hyperplastic are known as regenerating polyps, and these are usually small, 0.5 to 1 centimeter in diameter. The length of the polyps is given 0.5 to 1 centimeter, the diameter is given 0.5 to 1 centimeter in diameter, and are often multiple. They are not single, but they are often multiple, and commonly may be located in the pyloric antrum. Rarely show malignant transformation. They rarely show malignant transformation, means they can form in the cancer, and microscopically the polyps show hyperplastic pyloric type glandular tissue, adenomatous lamina propria, inflammatory cells, and scanty smooth muscle fiber. So they will have the malignant transformation, rarely it will be seen, and microscopically it can be seen. The hyperplastic pyloric type glandular tissue will be there, lamina propria will be having edema, then inflammatory cells will be there, and scanty smooth muscle fibers will be also there. Inflammatory polyps will develop after inflammation only. Then benign tumor. Gastric polyps we discussed. We discussed in gastric polyps. What is it? Two types of polyps: inflammatory polyps and hyperplastic polyps. Then benign polyps or benign tumors. Benign tumors. The benign tumor of the stomach are gastric adenoma. These are the gastric adenomas, and the incidence of gastric adenoma increase with age, most common in 7 decades. Male to female ratio is 2:1. So this is saying that these are the tumors of the stomach which are gastric adenoma, and the gastric adenoma incidence increases with age. So we can call benign tumors as gastric adenoma also. In the 7th decade they will increase, and male to female ratio is 2:1, means male is affected more than the female. And up to 40% of gastric adenoma contain a focus of carcinoma at the time of diagnosis of the risk of the cancer in the adjacent gastric mucosa is high as 30%. Means up to 40% the gastric adenomatous will contain the focus of carcinoma. Means carcinoma will be present in the gastric adenoma property at the time of diagnosis, and risk of cancer will be high. Gastric adenoma arises in the background of chronic gastritis and intestinal metaplasia. If there is chronic gastritis, swelling of the gastric cavity, so it will cause gastric adenoma to be arise. The next is gastric adenoma are also referred as adenomatous or neoplastic polyps. So the benign tumor, that is the gastric adenoma, are also referred as the adenomatous or neoplastic polyps. Polyps which are commonly seen in the colon and are also located in the distal portions. So we can see that they are mostly found in the distal portions of the stomach. So gastric adenoma may be sessile or pedunculated, and usually these are single 3 to 4 centimeter in size. Means they will have the sessile or pedunculated structures, and that will be 3 to 4 centimeter in size and will contain the proliferative dysplastic epithelium and has malignant potential. Means they will have the malignant property, but they are not malignant in nature, but may have the malignant property if they are not treated well. Then is a malignant tumor. Size of gastric adenoma is 3 to 4 centimeter in size. Then malignant tumor of the stomach are having 4 parts: gastric carcinoma, lymphomas, carcinoid, and mesenchymal tumor. Malignant tumor having gastric carcinoma will be 90 to 95%, lymphomas 4%, carcinoids 3%, and mesenchymal tumors, these are seen very rare. Now I'll talk about the gastric carcinoma. The gastric carcinoma is the most common tumor of the stomach and is one of the most common lethal malignancies, and the highest incidence in it is 4 to 6 decades of life, and is seen twice common in men than in women. It is of 2 types: intestinal types and diffuse types. Means it is not as compared to gastric adenoma or benign tumor. These are gastric carcinomas, most common tumors of the stomach, and gastric cancer is lethal malignancy, means it may lead to death, and these are mostly seen in the 4 to 6 decades of life, and these are again common in men than in women. Ratio will be 2:1. 2 types: intestinal types and diffuse types. Intestinal types will arise from gastric mucosa cell that have undergone intestinal metaplasia. Then diffuse type will arise from native gastric mucosa. So the gastric mucosa which have undergone intestinal metaplasia will be the intestinal type, and which are native gastric mucosa will be diffuse type. Next thing is etiology. What are the etiology? The etiology are the diet and host factors. Diet: nitrites in diet found preserved food, drinking water undergo nitrogenation to form nitrosamine and nitrosamide, smoked and salted food, lack of fresh fruit and vegetables, tobacco smoke, tobacco juice, consumption of alcohol having carcinogenic effect on gastric mucosa and host factors, atopic gastritis, chronic atopic gastritis, 10 to 18% increased risk of developing carcinoma due to bladder atrophy and intestinal metaplasia, then infection by hepatic pylori, which is an important risk factor for development of gastric cancer. Then partial gastrectomy, it favors the reflux of bilious intestinal fluid. Partial gastrectomy is done, so it will cause the reflux in bilious. Then gastric adenoma, 40% of carcinoma at the time of diagnosis, genetic factors, close relatives like increased incidence in some races, there is in higher in blacks and American. Morphology, the location in stomach at the following sites are pylorus and antrum, which is 50 to 60%, then cardia 25%, body and fundus 15 to 25%, and favored location is lesser curvature of stomach. So it will be mainly seen in malignant tumors. They are the gastric carcinoma, pylorus and antrum, cardia, body and fundus, and favored location of lesser curvature. Now next is the classification. Again there is classification of gastric carcinoma. So gastric carcinoma is classified based on the depth of invasion and macroscopic growth pattern. Histological subtypes are also there. So let's see. On the depth of invasion, early gastric carcinoma in which the lesion is confined to mucosa and submucosa. Advanced gastric carcinoma in which the lesions have extended below the submucosa into the muscular wall. All cancer begin as early as which proceed the development of advanced lesion. Then macroscopic growth pattern. If it is in the lesion mucosa to submucosa, then early gastric, advanced gastric, then submucosa, then all cancer benign. And if we go to the macroscopic, three morphological growth patterns of gastric carcinoma are seen: exophytic, flat and excavated, and lineatus plastica. Exophytic is protrusion of tumor mass into the lumen; flat, no visible tumor mass; excavated, shallow or deep ulcer, malignant ulcer which have heaved up the beaded margins with necrotic bases; then lineatus plastica, diffuse infiltration of malignancy in the whole stomach, forming a rigid, thickened, leather bottle-like appearance. Then histological subtypes. Two most important types of histological subtypes are intestinal and diffuse type, that we have already seen. So let's see the growth pattern of gastric carcinoma. They infiltrate in the stomach wall as well as the individual cell or small clusters. Mucin is formed in the malignant cells. So they will cause infiltration, or death will be caused. Then they will expand the cell and push the nucleus towards the periphery, forming the singlet ring configuration. So they will form singlet ring configuration as the nucleus will go down. So you can see the types: exophytic, flat or depressed; excavated; lineatus plastica. Spread of gastric carcinoma. The spread of gastric carcinoma can be lymphatic, means paragastric or para-aortic, virtue node, supraclavicular node, lymph node, hematogenous liver, lungs, brain, bones, then transphylomic, peritoneal cavity, ascites, pouch of Dogals, pelvic and ovaries, then Krukenberg tumors. Clinical manifestation will include chronic dyspepsia, epigastric discomfort, related to tumor growth in gastric cells and destruction of mucosal barrier, then persistent abdominal pain, gastric distension and vomiting, loss of weight, loss of appetite, anemia, weakness, malaise, postprandial fullness, hematemesis, melena, blood and stool, erosion of gastric mucosa from tumor. The diagnostic method can be barium X-ray with fluoroscopy, which will show the tumor or filling defects in the outline of stomach, loss of flexibility and distendability, and abnormal mucosa with or without ulceration. Then gastroscopy with fibrotic endoscopy, then computer tomography scan, X-ray, liver, bone scan, liver biopsy reveal metastasis. Till here it has been discussed. The next I will discuss in the later part. So, thank you class.